Hey Joe, come on. We're gonna be late for the Crypto Win live stream. Call. Hey Joe, come on. We're gonna be late for the Crypto Win live stream. Call Barack and Michelle, see if they're gonna tune in and watch. We can see him chart Doggy Moon coin.
This is the best president of the United States, Donald Trump, and when I'm not putting high tariffs into place, I'm watching Crypto Glenn. Only Dickie Dark.
We are late. The Crypto Glenn live stream has started without us. You feel me yet again, Starscream?
Jeez, I'm excited about this.
You're watching the Crypto Glenn nightly stream. Real Alpha, Glenn, can you chart Doggy Boo coin for me?
I'm too old for this shit. You know what time it is when you hear this, right?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Traders. 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 Welcome to another beautiful live stream. I'm your host, Crypto Glenn. Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good day, wherever you are watching, whenever you're watching. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Let's go ahead and share this live stream out to those of you that have friends, family members in the crypto space. You want to know what's going on in the crypto market. You think this is information that can help them. Do them a solid. Share this information out. Do them a solid. Share the information out. Deuces Wild, appreciate you. Deuces Wild is saying tap that screen. Let's go to tap that screen. Let's get this up to about 1,000 real quick, fast and hurry. Jose, good to see you here, family. How goes it? How are you, family? Hope everything is going fantastic for you on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Just a quick question for you. Woody's in the chat. What's going on? Woody Michael is in the building. What's going on, Michael? Leading Thomas, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Welcome to the live stream. If you guys have questions about projects in particular, how does the chart structure look like on your favorite project? Let me know. We'll go ahead and chart it out for you. Get a quick rundown of what's going on in the markets. A question that I have for everybody here before we get too far into things. Toy Trader is in the building. What's up, Troy? Let me do this. Let me go ahead and drop one of them things in the chat one time for all of the regulars. It's good to see all your beautiful faces here. Yes. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Quick question. Where's the bull run? Where is the bull run? My goodness, these markets are looking just like flat, right? It's not really a whole lot that's going on. And if I see one more content creator trying to get folks excited, telling them, hey, now is the time you should be buying altcoins. It's like, bro, the market is just going in one giant, it's going sideways, right? Sideways. And if I'm being completely honest with you, okay, if I'm being completely honest with you, let me just do this real fast. Somebody remind me in 2 seconds we were on Messy chart. All right. You'll see a new update from TradingView. If you grab the screen like you want to drag it and you hold down your mouse click, it'll tell you what the open, low, high, close, and what the volume was for each one of these respective candles. That's going to come in handy for traders who are trading on, say, like the 4 hour, maybe even sooner. All right, so real fast, let's take a look at this. Just right off the bat. Listen, right off the bat, y'all see that price is going up. This is Bitcoin, a higher time frame. This is on the daily. Bitcoin price going up, and at that same period in time, the volume is going down. Congrats, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves what's known as a classic bearish divergence. What's up, Meech? Good to see you here, family. So we got all these people who are like, yeah, let's go ahead and tell people to buy altcoins. Let's tell everybody just to, markets are going to be fine. On the daily, we got a nice bearish divergence. All right, price is going up, volume is coming down. Let's go back to, what was on before, messy chart. See if I can just add a little bit of context here and what it is that we're talking about. All right, go ahead and stretch this out. Everybody see that? Price is going up, volume's going down. RSI is going sideways. Stochastic RSI, kind of that same situation. Hang on, let me redo that. Price is going up, the relative strength index is going down. We got bearish divergence popping up on a few different places on these charts on the higher time frame. And y'all know the rule, the higher time frame leads. So again, my question. Appreciate the follow, David. Thank you. My question to everyone in the chat is, how are we going to have a bull market when we got bearish divergences on the higher time frames? Okay. Well, Glenn, maybe it's just Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin's getting ready to break down, and then we'll have an altcoin season. Okay, cool. Let's check out, what do we need to look at to get that situated? Total 3, regularly traded cryptos. I think Total 3 is on that list. Not today. All right, what are we doing here? RSI is kind of going sideways. All right. Now, granted, I've seen these a little bit cleaner. This is a little messy, but overall, the imaging is overall the same. So you're not even going to get that on Total 3. There's no scenario that we're looking at here where alts look remotely in a position to run. I'll tell you what, let's check out this. What I just tell you how to check out the last time we went live. Something you should be checking daily, tether dominance. USDT period. Tether dominance, market cap. I don't know why that's not on that list. That should always and forever be on that list. What is tether dominance doing? Not really a whole lot. Not really a whole lot. A little bit of invalidation there. I say go here. Let's mark this out. It's just descending channels all across the board. Just really hoping this does not become, I don't think that's going to turn into a bear flag, right? I could see how some people might say that, but just the fact that we've got a lot of this fall, like we dropped, we rallied, we dropped again. Usually if this is going to act as a flagpole, it needs to be more of just a solid run, right? So if you wanted to say, okay, what about here? Sure, that in itself might act as a little bit of a bear flag, like short term. I see you, John. Might act as a short term, like bear flag, right? That might put us down to around 4%. Where was the last time we were down at 4% or 4 3/10? Going back here to February. The alts run in February? I don't think alts ran in February, but just to be sure. February, January. No, alts actually came down in February. So yeah, I'm just not seeing an avenue for altcoins to pop off out of the blue. Like, I get it. People are tired. They're tired of waiting. We've been waiting a long time. The market participants are just kind of like, eh. But nothing in the chart right now is saying it's go time. Nothing in the charts right now is saying that it's go time. Trump comes out with fantastic news and everybody goes crazy with excitement. Yeah, you know, Toy, if I'm being honest, I heard that there were going to be more tariffs that were going to be put in place of where it stands right now, right? So U.S. tariffs, goods from Japan and South Korea are hit with a brand new 25% levy. Trump sends 14 tariff letters, and White House says more to follow this week, right? So I think a lot of what we're seeing right here could potentially either keep going sideways or maybe even break down. Because it's not like the news is saying, hey, you know, Trump's ready to come out with positive tariffs. No, I mean, from what I get from this, he's actually getting ready to send more negative news to markets abroad, saying that, hey, unless we get these trade deals in order, we're going to impose stronger tariffs on you guys as well. Now, I get a lot of people that kind of get bent out of shape about that, like, oh, wham, you know, Trump, he's going to impose more tariffs. That's not going to help anybody. But if I'm being completely honest, this time from a year ago, tariffs are up 78%. The revenue from tariffs is up 78%. This is coming in from NPR.org. There's already evidence that tariffs are helping the government's bottom line. The federal government collected $68.9 billion in tariffs and excise taxes during the first 5 months of the year, according to the Treasury Department. That data collected by the Bipartisan Policy Center. Again, it's a 78% increase in the same period from a year ago. Now take a look at this. If this is where we're at right now for tariffs, $98.2 billion, and that's for 2025. To everyone who would say the tariffs aren't helping, Trump doesn't know what he's doing, this is only harming the American, it's only harming the country and it's not helping. Well, when you take a look at what tariff revenue has been in years prior, this is under many administrations. So this dark blue here is 2017. 2018 is the black line. 2019. So it looks like, you know, you've got what? This is probably Trump during his first term. In 2017, he leaves in 2020. Right? Max there was 22.8 billion. We start to cap out around 58. And here we're already leaps and bounds of where we've been before. Yeah, but aren't the tariffs being paid by the people, Glenn? So that, I think, is a knee-jerk reaction. We've heard a lot of different CEOs that have come out and said, hey, for our products and services, you know, we're not necessarily going to pass the increase in production on to the consumer. We've seen, for example, CEO Marie Barra from General Motors, she came out and she said that. You've got a lot of other companies who are saying, all right, in order for us to circumvent having to deal with this tariff nonsense, we're actually just going to look at reshoring to the United States. Porsche's doing this. Honda's got a new facility that they're thinking about opening up in 2028 to start manufacturing their Accord in Indiana, I believe. So you've got a lot of different outfits that are saying, okay, like, yeah, we get tariffs here, but we're not inherently going to pass that on to the people, at least not right away if we do, if at all. And if we are thinking about having to face these enormous tariff payments or just the shitstorm that is tariffs, we're actually just going to look at bringing our business to America. We're just going to open up factories here. Now, there are a population of people out there that say because this cannot be done in 5 seconds, meaning open brand new factories, get tool, get die, get everything up and rolling within the blink of an eye, the wave of a wand, we shouldn't do it. Or when you ask them, because it's not going to happen in 5 seconds, so you're saying we shouldn't do it, they'll say, well, that's not what I'm saying either. And to them, I would say, well, pick a side. What are you saying? Because I remember being a kid in the 90s when the NAFTA agreement was signed by Clinton, and those jobs, they left America and they went to places like Mexico, China, Vietnam, so on and so forth. But those jobs didn't leave overnight, so why should we expect to get them overnight? Right? I think overall the end goal here is two things. One, how do we bring companies back to America? How do we get companies to reshore to America? And if they don't want to reshore to America, how do we at least get them in a position where they want to bring the trade agreements back in better alignment? Because all this really boils down to is at the end of the day is like the people in America, they don't have enough jobs. They don't have enough jobs. And it baffles me when you hear people say, oh, well, you know, we can't do this in 30 seconds, therefore we shouldn't do it. So we're just supposed to roll over and just die? You just want to just roll over and just take it? No, man, people need jobs. People need work. Without people having jobs, without people having a very robust economy, things like recessions become very, very much a reality, and they can happen more frequently. And when you have territories within your borders where the economy is not diversified and you only have one main industry, Detroit, I'm looking at you, and all you have is an automotive, what happens to the vast majority of people when that main economy starts to shudder because you go through an economic downturn? People get hurt. So I don't think this is something that's going to happen in the next 5 seconds, but I do think it is something that we should be trying to make a reality. Ace Boogie with the hoodie. What up, Sleeps? Good to see you here, my guy. So we've kind of, we've got to be cognizant of that. User 3932 says, according to the BTC heat map, there is a big amount of liquidity to grab at 111,000. Let's take a look at that. 111,000. Ooh, that looks fuzzy. Let's get rid of that. That would kind of put us up here, right? Yeah, right there to 111. You could definitely make a liquidity grab, a snatch. Get rid of that. I mean, if I'm being honest, if we're just paying attention, we kind of saw that happening right here. Descending channel starts to print on the daily. Typically, these normally break to the upside. The measure move is where the move starts. And you saw that's kind of where we topped out at 110 and some change here. Oh, but like what, 4 days ago? My question is, if we were to pull up that Bitcoin heat map, I'm willing to bet there's probably some at the bottom as well. This whole entire month and a half, really 2 months if I'm being honest, there's just been a whole bunch of bull, like a whipsaw, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Get rid of that. Yeah, we got it to the upside and we got it to the downside. What is this, 107? Yeah, 107 is some change. This is 111. And all this is kind of like, yeah, it's there, but it's not like, right, you really want to pay attention to the yellows. But yeah, to your credit, to your point, yes, there's definitely some liquidity up at 110,000, rather, excuse me. Yeah, 110. But we've been there before, right? It's just right here. Just right there. And here's the thing that I've always said, like once we get north of 110, and we see this happen every single time, boom, we get here back in May, above 110, we touch 112, if I'm not mistaken. Borderline, yeah, pretty much touched about 112. But we didn't close above it. Then we try to make another rally. We get to around 110 and a half. Don't close at or above. We push back down. Here we are going to make our third attempt in this same region right here, right? And this is a little bit of a broader region here, but you know, you're kind of in this neck of the woods right here. That's kind of where you're at right there. Now, unless you start to get some good body closures on the daily, right? Right now, you're looking for the higher time frames, because if you're trying to establish a new trend, you need a higher time frame. So like none of that 15-minute BS, not even the hour, not even the 4 hour. You need daily, really, if you're really trying to go to Valhalla, you need like a weekly candle close above this range. So a weekly candle close above 110 would get you there. That'd be the start. If you can really get above this hump at 112, daily candle close, that's going to put you in really good shape. But we don't have that. We keep touching it, you know, hey, let me check the water, let me dip my pinky toe in, and then every single time we close below. I think a lot of the idea was like, hey, if we can actually get above, right, we've got this descending channel, and it's broad too. It wasn't even narrow, it was broad. If we can get above this descending channel here, we can break out, and we did, and then we push up to where the measure move should be, and it did, 110.4. If we can just start to look at getting some higher candle closures, not a wick, but a higher body candle close at these price levels, we'll be on our way. And every single time we keep getting rejected. Every single time we keep getting rejected. So the thing that I question, and I don't know for sure yet, right? Time has gotta play out. It's two things. What I don't want to see happen, and what no bull really wants to see happen, is we don't want to see this zone right here start to act as a supply zone. And I don't think that's going to be the case because you were, rejected from this here. You pushed down, right? You came back up into the zone. You pushed down, and you've kind of tapped into it 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. I would say that's probably going to be a no, because literally whenever you tap into a supply zone or a demand zone, it's almost like the instant you tap into it, it immediately reacts negatively. And so the fact that, yes, while we came here and it rejected down, but then we came back and we keep kind of revisit. This is acting like as an area of interest, if I can say that. But the problem is we don't have any significant candle closures on a high enough time frame for that to even really be worth a damn. So if Bitcoin keeps going back and forth between 110 to, I don't know, call it 104, 100 on the high side, between those 3 numbers, the altcoins, they're looking around like, man, we really don't know what to do. So unless someone's got a crystal ball, then they can see something that I'm not seeing in the charts. And I think I've been calling a pretty accurate game this whole entire cycle. If I'm being honest, I think I've called a pretty accurate game going back to, the last bear bull cycle. So until we start, getting above this zone right here, strong body candle closures, none of it matters. None of it matters. Because, at this point, if you wanted to trade it, you can kind of say, okay, here, short. Once you come back, short. Once you come back, short. It looked like you're trying to make another rally. If we get news this week that there's been more tariff announcements that have been made and they're less than ideal, this might just be more the same. Hey, kind of crept back up into the range. Rejection. Right? And then where do you look to from there? Right, you're going to try to come back to 104.7, try to see if that acts as support. But so far, this is just more the same old, just a whole bunch of whipsawing back and forth. The good thing that you have going for it, hey, we're above the descending channel, right? So if we're going to go down, we just got to make sure that this acts as support and then push back up. If, in fact, we don't get enough bids and buys from where we're at here to kind of push this to the upside. What's up, Angel Money? How you doing? Cornholio 19. That name. How y'all doing? It's good to see y'all here. Welcome. I get a feeling he has been better idea than you and I, to be honest. And that is from Payne Sun talking to B.D. Benders. Let's see. What's up, Benders? Powell's an attorney, not a financial professional. He has no clue about the economy. I wouldn't say he's got no clue about the economy, but I will say that his moves have been a little late. He is definitely, if you look at how he performed coming out of COVID, there were times where he definitely should have, raised interest rates at a higher tick sooner. And because he took so long, I think that kind of added to the problem. All this money just kind of flowing around the system and us being able to have the interest rates that we have for so long, and now we're kind of paying for it. Everybody's ready for rate cuts, but he's kind of like, no, we're not really going to do that yet. And then I think by the time he decides to cut rates, it's likely going to be too late. And again, we'll be playing catch up. Appreciate y'all for running it up to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. But that's just kind of where we're at. Sometimes you just got to send a shock through the system. I get that you want people to stop spending money, and one of the best ways you can do that is try to raise interest rates. Personally, I think you should have just sent that shock to the system. 50 basis points, 100 basis points early on, did what you needed to do, sent the shock through the market, got people to stop spending money, and we would have been ultimately closer to where we need to be sooner. What's up, that dude? How you doing? Good to see you here. Payson says he's more of a conservative. Take on a breath approach. He's more on the conservative take a breath approach. I can see that, but it's like sometimes you gotta move quick. We don't really have time to dilly-dally and kind of lollygag around. Like, we got to get it figured out. Because the longer this thing happens, like, think about it. People are in these markets to try to make money. This isn't just crypto. You're looking at, granted, the SPY, but you're like, hey, Glenn, the SPY just had a pretty good day last week. Let me see here. Where is it? And yeah, it did. You're talking like brand new all-time high territory. But I'd be lying to you if I said the SPY hitting brand new all-time highs makes me feel good. If anything, it gives me a little bit of pause for concern, because I feel like every time we hit a brand new all-time high, there's a valley waiting for us. Brand new all-time high, valley. Okay, maybe didn't really happen here. We started to get to brand new all-time high, a little bit of valley. How deep was that retracement? That's almost 3.5%. For the SPY, that's pretty sizable. Same thing here, right? Brand new all-time high. It's not these that are terrible. It's like when you start getting to these brand new all-time highs, and then you start running into these values, or you get to this brand new all-time high, and you run into this value right here. So here we are again, brand new all-time high on the SPY. And it's like, all right, what's just waiting for us? Keep in mind, the whole time we talk about this often. Here you've got your moving average. Here you've got price. The distance between price and a moving average is called extension. Whenever these things get too far out of whack, meaning price gets too far away from the moving average, what happens? Price has got to come back down to meet that moving average. Price has got to revert to the mean. Or it can just continuously run up and that'll pull the moving average up. But most times what we see happen is there's usually a correction to around where the moving average is, so they can kind of come back into confluence. What do I think about Crypto Week coming up? The only information I have on Crypto Week is that we were waiting on information regarding tariffs. Outside of that, what other items are we looking at for Crypto Week? Let me know, because I haven't really heard anything. This is wild. Go Glenn. What's up, family? Appreciate y'all for being here. Can I look at SPX 6900? Nah, that's a meme coin. I'm really not gonna touch that one. I just clock it. I'm saying, I think I've called a pretty fair game, right? Let's look at gold. Gold, I think gold just hit a brand new all-time high, what, like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, there it is. 34, almost 3,500. It's just been on a tick. It's just been running. So if I'm looking at this, I'm like, all right, gold, right now it's kind of consolidating. So we rallied, we're kind of basing, and then we need to see if we're going to rally again or hit a little bit of a consolidation. But I will say this, though, the fact that you don't have any hidden bearish divergence is probably a good thing. Do I just keep investing in crypto, or do I try trading? B Woods, you'd have to make that decision for yourself. I can tell you when I first got started on my, trading journey, it wasn't anything that came over 5 minutes. Like, I spent years. Like, if I started in 2018, 2019, I didn't really start hitting my stride until 2020. Right now, granted, the information to learn, to train, really wasn't prevalent back then like it is now. So, like, if you get hooked up with the right person, like, that could possibly shorten your learning curve. But it also is going to depend on like how obsessed with these markets you are. And I use that word obsessed very, very blatantly. I just don't think trading is something that you can, and I'm not saying this is you, but I think a lot of times people, they take a look at what information and what content people put out around trading, and they automatically think, oh, this trading thing, man, this is going to be a piece of cake. This is going to be like my fastest way to get from rags to riches, or wherever I'm at to wherever I want to go. And it's like, no, I mean, you can't be fair weather about this. Gold's been rallying with the tariff volatility. Yeah, 100%, because people are like, man, it's just a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now. And, we need a little more certainty. But, you can't really be fair weather when it comes to trading. My opinion only. You can't really be fair weather. I think this is something that you have to be obsessed with. You got to want it as bad as you want your next meal. You got to want it as bad as you want, to make money to pay for your mortgage or your rent or whatever it is that you got. And I think, for me personally, like, just becoming obsessed with it, that's what carried me over the threshold. Like, it wasn't enough just to be like, oh yeah, I can win a trade or two here or there. Like, I wanted to get good. I wanted to get good. I wanted to get at least like 60% or better. So if I take 10, I can win 6, and right now I'm at like 7.5. Ideally, I like to see if I can get around to like 8 or 9, but that's gonna be a little crazy. Groovy T, let me ask you a question, fam. Why you like all these meme coins? Can I look at Fartcoin? There's no technicals on Fartcoin. Here's the technical for these meme coins. Are you going to sell before the next man? You look at me like, Glenn, that's the kind of the situation with a lot of these. Yes, it is. But at least with much of what we talk about here, someone can dump a healthy amount and it won't completely tank the price. Versus if you're talking about like meme coins, it's you placing your fate in somebody else's hands, and you don't even know what their mental is like day to day. People says, I invested, but people say I need to trade. You don't need to trade. You need to do the thing that you think gives you the best possible chance of success. But the thing about trading is, again, that's not something you can just jump into. I think, let me rephrase, you can, but if you do that, you got to be prepared to lose a lot of money. You got to be prepared to lose a lot of money. Super like Superverse, you mean, Scooter? But if you want to learn how to do it right, that's a process that takes time. It's like, hey, let me start looking at these charts and trying to see if I can like paper trade this thing first. Start amassing some wins on paper before I start putting funds behind my, my trades. Super, we can take a look at Super. What's the ticker for Super? I don't even, Super, I hear people talking about it, but again, it's like the amount of cryptos I'm just not interested in is at an all-time high. And I'm not saying I'm getting like market fatigue. What I am getting is like all these cryptos are dog shit. I'm just gonna be honest. All these cryptos are dog shit.
He's on fire!
You know what I mean? A lot of these cryptos are dog shit, man. Like a lot of them, you don't need crypto to run them. A lot of them were projects that were created in 2017, or 2020, and they just never came back. Tony says Harmony won. Like, Tony, let me pick on you for a second, right? Harmony won. I think the ticker for that one is 1. I think. Harmony 1, right? Let's look at this. I bet you this chart, I have not looked at it, but I bet you it looks like doo-doo. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What am I going to do with that? What is even the play with Harmony, right? And I remember hearing about this one back in the day, but it's like, let's how much volume has been traded here? 256 mil, 85 mil. We get today 85 million. That's nothing. That's nothing. Right? Now watch this. We go over here in good times. 600 mil. 740 mil. 400 mil. This is a bull run. 930 million. I mean, like, I get why people would be like, oh, it's so low, it's practically riskless. Like, I can just blindly throw some money, and if it comes back, it comes back. A lot of this shit isn't coming back. Y'all remember? Y'all remember Avengers Endgame? When Black Widow sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone, and Hawkeye gets back, and he got to tell everybody what happened, and everyone's going through like their own stages of grief, and Hulk takes the bench and he like launches it into the stratosphere, and then he calms down immediately. He goes, she's not coming back. Yeah, that's a lot of these cryptos. They're not coming back. I used to have a bag of Harmony. I'm sorry, not Harmony. It was a Holochain. Holochain. Why? Because again, you use crypto long enough, you start to see a lot of the same narratives get passed. Oh, it's the latest and the greatest. It's going to do this. Interoperability, blah, 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 blah. And it never does the thing that they say it's going to do. So if you got a project that looks like this, it's like, all right, what's really the move? Harmony 1. Let's all take a look at Harmony 1, because I honestly can't even remember. I can't even really remember what this thing was. If you have money, where would I put it? Me personally, I'm just gonna let you know right now. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. The longer I'm here in the space, the more I realize, like, man, people just come out with projects to try to separate you from your money, and they turn around when you buy their project and they just buy the thing you should have been buying anyway. No matter how many, morning crypto shows talk about a project, the vast majority of them are dog shit. Or they have like announcements of announcements to try to get you excited about buying into, the project. But then when the announcement comes out, it's like, we've opened up a new chain on this blockchain. And it's like, that you could have put that shit in a tweet. There was no need for a cliffhanger, an announcement to the announcement, You know, no, there was no need. Pain Sun says most cryptos are trash, but if you start talking bad about the ISO 2002, we are going to fight, Glenn. Well, that brings me to my next point. If there's one thing I can't stand, Super just technically came out. Yeah, I bet. We'll take a look at it. And I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer. It's just that a lot of these cryptos they're garbage. They're garbage. When they came out, they had high inflationary tokenomics where they might have been worth something when they first came out, but now they're absolutely worth just dog shit. But yeah, this is Superverse. I'm gonna go to the website here. And while we're this is Harmony One. And while we're waiting on that, let's check out Superverse. I think this was supposed to be like in the metaverse, right? Yeah, what happened with that? What happened with that? So you've got 50,000 holders, or at least 50,000 wallets. There's 1 billion tokens. There is no max supply, but there's currently 1 billion tokens that are out. Oh, I'm sorry, 605 million that are circulating. I don't know why they don't have a max supply here, but total there can be at least 1 billion. This one came out in 21. It was $3.70, and since then it's just, not done really a whole lot of anything. Let's go to the website. Let's take a look and see what they do. It's down 86% from its all-time high. Put a fork in it. It's done. Trying not to miss the next Bitcoin. I mean, but here's the thing, though. There's only one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the Bitcoin. So when you take a look at the trading volume over the last 24 hours, Binance has the most trading volume for Superverse, and they've only done 1.1 million. Nobody's buying this. You don't even got to look at a chart. You can literally just come down and say, what's the trading volume over the last 24 hours? Nobody's buying this. I think Superverse has something to do with the metaverse, though. While that's loading up, let's take a look at this. Harmony One is an open blockchain, sharding, and fast finality. Social finance and robotics AI can be used on our again, like when I was looking at Harmony One back in 2018, 2019, no one was talking about robotics and AI on Harmony One. That's how I know, like, hey, let's just take the current buzzwords, put it on our landing page, and get people excited about it so they want to turn around and buy our project. No one's using this. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. Harmony's mission is to scale trust, create radically fair economy. Our platform is decentralized, scalable, and secure. Nothing that they've said here so far is drastically different than any L2 or any other L1 that's got more significant trading volume and probably better partners. Protocol upgrade, major mainnet upgrade, improving consensus, P2P networking, validator stability, EVM 1.9 compatibility again. Let's do this. Let's go to DeFi Llama. And we can see if anybody's building on it. Will you say the same when everyone is selling BTC and rotating into alts? I would, but Scooter, so like the thought process that you've got there is the thought process that worked like in 2017 and 2021. But right now in 2025, we've got new avenues. We've got new variables that are at play here. In 2017 and 2021, we didn't have Wall Street. Like the Wall Street that we had, it wasn't like the Wall Street that we have today. Okay. So now you've got companies like Bitcoin Treasury Reserve companies that are launching daily. They're launching daily. And so when you take a look at what brings on an alt season, it's when Bitcoin dominance drops below like 50 or 47%. It's got to drop drastically. For instance, this is 21, right? Bitcoin was at 73. In January 2021, Bitcoin dominance falls, right? Let me just do this real fast. Hold on. So y'all can see it. so y'all can see it. I did not want to do that. You go back there. You go to total 3. Oh, this one doesn't even go all the way back. Okay. Shoot. Let me see here. Let's go to ETH, right? ETH is probably going to be a good measure because ETH is kind of like the largest one that will actually run the altcoin market. Let's go here to the daily. So I'm on daily to daily. All right. So does everybody see that? In 21, when the Bitcoin dominance chart was at 70, damn near 73, 73%, when it started to fall, this is FET. I don't want FET. I want Ethereum. Come on now. Glenn, get it together, bro. All right, you can see that. As Bitcoin dominance starts to fall, okay, as Bitcoin dominance starts to fall, look what happens to Ethereum on the bottom. You start to see how it starts to go up. So if this is Bitcoin dominance falling, that's Bitcoin dominance falling. Here you actually start to have Ethereum start to go up. See how they have an inverse relationship? What's up, DeCarl? So what I'm trying to say is here we didn't have Wall Street. We didn't have much of what we have now. No Treasury Reserve companies, none of that. Over here, you've got Wall Street, ETFs, Treasury Reserve companies that are being made almost daily at this point, at least announcements that are coming out of a new Bitcoin Treasury Reserve company that's coming out almost daily at this point. They keep dumping money into Bitcoin. So if these guys keep dumping money into Bitcoin, how are you going to have an altcoin season when the Bitcoin dominance is not dropping? You can't. This goes back to even before we got to this bull run. During the last bear market, I said, hey, you know what? Because we started getting rumblings of interest from this institution, interest from that institution. I said we should start preparing for a day and age where Bitcoin literally just runs away from the rest of the market. Because the game plan has always been, people have said, well, I'm gonna invest in altcoins, and then when alts start to pump, I'm gonna take that out and I'm gonna put it into Bitcoin. Well, what happens if we never get to a market where altcoins are pumping? I've been the main one shouting from the tallest mountaintop that I can get to, saying I don't think we're gonna get an alt season, or we're at least not gonna get an alt season like the one that we've become accustomed to in 2017 and 2021. So if you don't get the alt season that you're looking for and all your money is in alts, but you've got the big fish who continuously put money in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the one that's growing in market cap, and Bitcoin is the one that's growing in price action, well, then all the money that you have in alts, or the vast majority of money that people have in alts, is going to dry up. And then when Bitcoin gets to a point where it starts to run away from the rest of the market, nobody wants to be the last person holding alts. So then people are going to sell out of alts and they're going to try to chase Bitcoin because it's now leaving the station, as they say. When they should have been taking the time to buy Bitcoin, or at least looking at Bitcoin and understanding the fundamentals, because the fundamentals with Bitcoin have changed drastically. And they should have been looking at it prior to it. Wall Street's coming in and saying, hey, you know, we like this little orange thing. Let's go ahead and dump more money into it. In other words, forget XRP, bro. XRP is dog shit wrapped in cat shit with a little bit of squirrel shit sprinkled on top. Shots fired. Shots fired. So how do we get to an altcoin season when you got these brand new entities that keep coming out and they keep saying, hey, I like what MicroStrategy is doing. I like what Strategy is doing. I like what Sailor's doing. I like what MetaPlanet is doing. How do I get a piece of that? Oh, you just buy Bitcoin. You put it on your balance sheet. And you can grow the valuation of your company without coming out with a brand new product or service. Who doesn't want to make more money not doing anything? Or doing as little as possible? Is that not the definition of capital efficiency, or trying to deploy capital in the most efficient manner possible? Yes. Yes. So the only thing we're waiting for now is the money printer to go burr. Appreciate the call. Thank you for that flaming heart, my guy. As well as the awesome thanks you and the lightning bolts. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate you. Hey. So once the money printer gets turned back on, because you got to figure at some point it's going to, they're going to want to try to avoid whatever economic calamity we may be hurtling towards. They're going to turn the money printer on. Asset valuations will grow. And then that's going to only expedite the process of more companies starting to say, oh, we didn't get on it when our other competitors were getting on it and creating Bitcoin Treasury Reserve companies. But now the money printer's on and Bitcoin is growing in its valuation. We don't want to get it left behind. So now we got to play catch up. So that'll grow the valuation of Bitcoin even more. And then retail is going to be the last one, because retail is always the last one. Because for whatever reason, we have the hardest time trying to think for ourselves. So then Bitcoin becomes this huge appreciating asset that's running away from everything, and it turns into a black hole. Retail tries to catch up. They're going to sell alts, try to put it into Bitcoin because they don't want to get left behind, and they want to save what little money they have, right? Because it's essentially shrunk in valuation because people have been slowly selling out of altcoins, and they're going to put it into Bitcoin. And it's my opinion that, man, we had better hope and pray to God that if you're the last person at the party, you at least get there before they start putting like retirement and annuities into Bitcoin. Because the amount of money that's like hovering around that space is crazy. So this is why, like, the longer I take around the landscape, and there's like a few, right? If you're talking like, again, 2 million altcoins, less than 2% of them are actually worth the blockchain that they're created on. And no, I'm not talking about XRP. Shots fired. So if that happens, if Bitcoin turns into a black hole, it's literally going to suck up everything. It's like, people out here, I'm just going to keep buying these altcoins. Like, the altcoins are not performing. They're not performing. I do this all day long from the high in November to where they're at now, down 75%. Literally, the last time I did this, okay, so, asterisk, so, fair point, so. But the last time I did this, where I just, you know, let's go through the altcoins. Last high, down 96%. Drift. On the high in November, down 80%. Do you want me to keep going? Dimension put something on Twitter the other day. Hey, if you've been staking Dimension from season 1, you might want to keep staking for season 2. We don't care. You just want to try to get more liquidity from the market participants. Down 91%. Do you want me to keep going? The Graft from November, down 75%. Oh, H-bar. H-bar. Where is this? December? No. Where was it from the high? November. Where's it at? Nope. September. This one pump late? Maybe H-bar pump late. Down 59, 60%. Illuvium. Yeah, some of your favorite cryptocurrency content creators were talking, hey, get some Illuvium. Down 85%. Do you want me to keep going? Goldfinch, my brother in Christ. November when these things pumped? down 73%. Hi, how about ICP? Hey, let's get some ICP because it's supposed to be Internet Computer Protocol. Dog shit, down 70%. Injective. Where's the high? From November. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. 70%. Do you want me to keep going? Hey, what about Kusama? Yeah, let's get some of that. Or Caspa. From the high in December, down 60%. LCX, glad I showed out of this piece of shit when I did. It's good to catch a pump when it, when you can. Down 71%. Link, oh my boy, look what they did to Link. And I actually like Link. I'm not even, but just being objective. Down 56%. Litecoin, hey, Charlie Lee. Where's Charlie Lee been at? Down 41%. Luna, I'm not even, come on, don't, really. Mina Protocol, from where we're at November, down 83%. Move, hey, everybody's looking at movement token. Yeah, let's look at that. Dog shit, 87%. Near Protocol, hey, they're going to take files and we're going to be able to do decentralized storage and blah, 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 blah. Down 73%. Don't even need to touch that one. Ondo for the condo. Down 63, almost 65%. I mean, Pyth. Did we touch Pyth already? I mean, you've had enough. Just let me know. Quant. I actually like Quant. High in November, December, so where we're at. Okay, respectable, 36%. It's almost out of a bear market. Almost. Render, dog shit. Hey, but they said they can render projects and do all this cool stuff. They don't even own the hardware. They're going to pair you with someone who does. Down 73%. Dog shit. Hey, Decentraland, remember us? We're the metaverse. Here we go. Down 70, almost 80%. Dog shit. There was one that I really wanted to look at. Where was it? Tia. Oh my god. December highs down 83%. It's so much bullshit. Tau. I don't even have Tau on here, but I can look it up. Viot. Hey, I remember a content creator told me to get into Viot because it was the next best thing. November or December when it pumped down till now. Down 84%. Dog shit. Where's this protocol? We were at December pump shit. It was down 90%. Down about 70%. Moonwell, one of my great picks, right? Look, there's Glenn being accountable. An objective, boom, down 73%. Granted, we were also getting this one all the way back here, so you gotta know when to sell. Dog with head. Hey, my favorite meme coin on Solana. Let's look at meme coins. Down 82%. Like, come on. You want to keep going? Let's keep going. XRP. Where are we at? December. It's high. Actually pumped higher than this last high. XRP, reasonably good shape. 22. Just crawled its ass out of a bear market. Just crawled its ass out of a bear market. We're going to come back to XRP though. Because they got a loyal following that just will not quit and do not care if they're being dumped on. Who mentioned that? Somebody said Tau, right? T-A-O, Tau. I'm gonna let you know right now, this one's gonna hurt. $57, almost 60%. What are we doing? Can we look at grass? I remember this shit came out. I was telling everybody, I don't effing trust it, man. I do not trust it. Hey, let's farm your internet resources. Down 70%. Come on, man. What's the story here? You got a new project that's coming out? Don't marry it, date it. Right? Meet her out and about, get to know her a little bit, take her back to the crib, and then kick her out. These things have no business being in your portfolio. Power of publish, power of getting people cooked. Ha ha ha! Damn it, man. Damn it, man. Oh, yeah, that was the other one. Crap. Oh, God. What was the name of that? It was Polygon, I think. Polygon. Where's a Matic? What did Matic? Is it POL? I think it's POL. Yeah, previously Matic, that one. What's the ticker? POL. Okay, let's look at this. Y'all ready for this shit? POL. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I just heard one of the morning crypto people, hey, you guys got to get some poly and start staking it because they're gonna come out with some blah 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 blah. It's down 75%. It's not worth my fucking time. What are we doing? Yeah, let me go ahead and just buy some of this and stake it because now they're gonna come out with something else that's gonna be more of a waste of my time. And I can continuously dilute myself out of quality projects. Stacks, I actually don't hate Stacks. STX, the Bitcoin L2 or whatever that wants to bring DeFi to Bitcoin, I don't hate that because when I was at the Bitcoin conference, there were a lot of people having a lot of high-level conversations around yield on Bitcoin. So I really think that's probably going to be a decent, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be looking at that. I got a fake Calvin Hill that follow me. All right, so let me go ahead and say this. After this live, during this live, you may get an email, a DM from someone pretending to be me. I'm never going to ask you guys. I'm never going to DM you first. Likely never going to follow, right? That's just one way I can try to separate myself from the scammers who are pretending to be me. I'm never going to follow you guys and ask you how's your crypto trading journey going. I'm never going to be like, hey, give me some money and I'll trade for you. It's not going to happen. You got questions about trading, like the best thing you can do is ask me here because this is real. Oscar, appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much for the heart me, the tennis love, and the go publish. My bad, go popular. Yeah, but I'm never gonna like hop in y'all DM and ask you. So if anyone ever does that, like I promise you it's not me. You want to ask me a question, I believe my DMs on TikTok and Twitter are open. You would have to DM me first, but really make sure you got the right profile, okay? Like I know how to spell. There's no special numbers after my name. So just be mindful of that. Cool? Cool. But yeah, so Stacks, I don't even hate Stacks. I like Stacks. Again, it's a conversation is around yield on Bitcoin. And I think if that is what Stacks is trying to do, they want to try to pull some of that DeFi from places like Ethereum, bring it over to Bitcoin. I think there's going to have a lot of runway. The question then becomes, can they execute on it? Shout out to people like Rebel who were talking about, man, we went to that Bitcoin conference in Nashville and he was talking to me about Stacks like a whole year ago. And so I just kind of arrived at the party after hearing a lot of the conversation this year in, where's the Bitcoin conference at? In Vegas. Had a little bit of lapse in memory there. Shout out to Bitcoin Magazine for having me out. Really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you. A beautiful event. But again, if that's the conversation, how do we bring DeFi over to Bitcoin? I think projects that are focusing on that are probably going to have a decent runway. Let's take a look at ADA. ADA. Rise November to where it's at now. It's down 56%. Like, again, all of the alts are in bear market territory. He said, I know how to spell. Would you? Wait. I finally bought a good one. Ada, Oh, he says I'm cooked. Maybe not. You just got to be mindful of where you're putting your bread, man. You just got to be mindful of where you're putting your bread. And again, I get it. Most people are going to say, well, some of these alts are down so much. It's almost a risk-free play. It can be a risk-free play. It can be a riskful play, if you put enough money in there and it never comes back. Again, look at the top 10 from 2017, then go look at the top 10 from 2021. Look at the top 10 today. There's been some moving around. Projects didn't come back. I can speak to this because it's happened to me. I bought Substratum. I bought Funfair. Oh, 2021, it's on. Glenn, I'm going to be popping like, I got this. 2021 came. Them two cryptos were nowhere to be found. Crypto graveyard heaven. Never came back. Gone. Ether. Dust. Arrivederci. Bon voyage. Ta-ta. Sprek. Appreciate you with the heartbeat, man. Thank you so much. Unapologetic. Appreciate you as well for the heartbeat. Thank you. One of them things in the chat for the both of y'all. Yes. Appreciate that. Where we at right now? 2.9 thousand. Y'all just going to really let's stall them out at 2.9 thousand. Come on. Tap that screen. Tap it. Tap, tap, tap. It's all right. Not all my eggs are in one basket. I've been playing this game for years. I've lost two. Yeah. See what I mean? It's inevitable. It's inevitable. That sound makes my brain tingle. I like my soundboard, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, a lot of these alts are just in terrible effing shape. They're not coming back. And the more they try to rebrand or come out with some brand new flashy, shiny thing, they're simply trying to extract capital and liquidity from you so that they can enrich the developers, and the developers turn around and buy the things that you should have been buying in the first place. With that being said, you've got to keep in mind with who is talking about these things, because oftentimes they have been compensated some way, somehow by the projects to talk highly of them. Whereas as me, Glenn really can't be bought. No one ever agrees to my terms. I get approached all the time. Would you take a look at our project? Would you talk about our project? And I'm like, sure. Here are my terms. Number one, in big fat text, I get to be blatantly, almost offensively honest about what I actually think about the project. Casper. Or is it Casper? Either way. I get to be blatantly honest about what I really and truly think about these projects. Oh, you know what, Glenn, on second thought, you know, we might decide to go with a different direction and then another cryptocurrency content creator we can buy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Unapologetically. Ha ha ha. I'm a sell. Don't sell on my accord. Go to the webpage, see if their North Star, if their vision has changed, if they are trying to, right, do something that's going to make some noise, but you got to put in that legwork and really find out. And if y'all want to research some of those, let me know. We can research some of them. Look, Cardano's dropping in real time. It was at 56. Now this is going to be more like 56.2. You know, it'll probably go down farther. But again, that's what happens. They rebrand. They try to extract. Oh, we used all the money we made on blowing strippers. We need to try to extract more capital out of our investors. Let's say we're going to rebrand and we've got this partnership, and people get excited. They pay content creators talk about it. They're like, yeah, it's the latest greatest thing. Woo, let's spend money on it. People buy into it and they end up losing money. Imagine being in any one of these altcoins for as long. Since November, you've done nothing but lost money. You have done nothing but lost money. This is not bull run activity. Not in the least bit. Man, listen. Some of y'all who, I'm doing a smart thing. I heard all these people from cycles before say, okay, you know, let's whisper because we got to keep this on a hush hush. Here's what you do. You buy the altcoins, and then you put the altcoins into the Bitcoin when altcoin season comes. Oh, when does altcoin season come? It comes shortly just after the halving, right? You get any halving, then boom, you move into the next year. That's officially the bull altcoin season. Like, here we are. Like 2025, it's on like Donkey Kong. We got this. We're gonna do great. We're all going to pull up to the country clubs. You know, we're all going to pull up and it's going to sound a little something like this because we've made so much money in crypto. Yeah, we're getting Lamborghinis. Okay, so when is that? Okay, you know, it's going to be like in February of 2025. Altcoin season. Just keep buying alts. February altcoin season. You're going to make it. Okay, cool. Here you go. Okay, I'm gonna buy some Cardano, and I'm gonna buy some ACH, and I'm gonna buy some 1-inch because, you know, DeFi, that's gonna be big. And oh, you know, Bored Ape Yacht Club, you know, they were like the premier NFT project. I gotta buy their token. I got, you know, some $8, some Ape coin, right? Oh, then I might get some Arbitrum, you know, yeah. Oh, I gotta get some XRP too. Yeah. Then January, February of 2025 comes when they said here was altcoin season. You go back to them, hey bro, I thought you said like we're still whispering because we got to keep this on a hush hush because we can't let anybody know we're making dumb money and we buy our Lamborghinis. So we got to keep this on a hush hush because it's a secret. Hey bro, I thought you said altcoin season was gonna be like January, February. And you know what? My mistake. I messed up. Hey, we had some geopolitical things start to take place. We're whispering because we're still gonna keep it on a low. Rod can't let anybody know he's got a green Ferrari. Here's what's gonna happen. Altcoin season has now been pushed back, right? Eyebrows up, pause for dramatic effect. It's been pushed back to March. Once March comes, it's on and popping. We're all going to be at the country club, taking flights, taking trips, Lamborghinis. We got this. So now here you are at home. Okay, cool. They said dollar cost average, you know, keep buying the dip. I got to whisper because I can't let anybody in my house know that I'm buying the dip. This is how wealth is made. Money moves in silence. Wealth is quiet. So I got to whisper. Right? So I'm buying the dip. The dip keeps dipping, but hey, I'm buying the dip. I wasn't paying attention to Glenn when he said you don't buy the dip and falling markets because you're not buying the dip. You're catching a falling knife. Now your hands are all scarred up and bloody and scabbed up because you've been juggling knives and shit. And you didn't want to listen. You wanted to keep buying the dip. Now we get to March and you got to go back to my man. Okay, bro, listen, we've been whispering for 3 months now. I can't let anybody know I got these altcoins. I've been buying the ISO 20022 tokens, even though Glenn told me there was no such thing as ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrency. He showed me the document from the ISO governing body themselves. They said, hey, we ain't got shit to do with crypto. Please stop putting us in this mix. We're going to list this on our frequently asked questions section so y'all can stop asking us about this bullshit. But here we are in March. Where's the altcoin season? My bad, dog. Actually, you know what? My grandmother tripped on a Hot Wheel. She slid across the living room. She's in an ankle cast. Altcoin season got postponed. It's now in April, bro. April, legit, no farther than May. We're good. We got this. Okay, so you like, shit, okay, I got more time to buy the dip, right? I bought some things. Maybe I bought a moped. I bought a new bike. Shouldn't have bought it. Wasted some money. Went and got my haircut too many times. Used some of my haircut money on my haircut. I should have been buying my haircut money and buying altcoins. Cool. I'm going to just keep buying the dip, right? Keep buying the dip. I'm stacking up. Now I got bags on bags on bags of altcoins. Then Trump comes out. Hey, what we're going to do, we're going to put in tariffs all over the place. Market tanks. You see your friend at the grocery store again. Hey, bro, okay, it's been now 3.5 months. We are still whispering. Live and Learn took a shower today. Where is altcoin season? Bro, my bad. Don't worry about it. A squirrel got hit when it was running across the road by a garbage truck. It postponed altcoin season. Listen, altcoin season is going to be May at the very least, maybe June. Okay, so you just go back and you keep dollar cost averaging and everything's gonna be all right because listen, listen, bro, I'm telling you, May, June tops altcoin season. We're gonna be pulling up to the club, South Beach, Lambos, everywhere, just pure. The hoes is gonna love this. Just, bro, keep stacking them all. Okay, cool. All right, so my man said at the latest May, June, right? It's a lock. Everything's good. All I gotta do is lock in, keep stacking altcoins. Cool. I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna get my nails done. I might even skip a couple days taking a shower, save money on my water bill. Just keep putting that money in the altcoin season. June gets here. What happens? Iran, Israel, Scud missile. Markets tank. You now got to go see the same people who've been telling you altcoin season is coming for the last 6 goddamn months. Now you can't even whisper anymore. You are pissed. Yeah, you pulling up on people. Hey, what's up, mother? I thought you said altcoin season was right around the mother. You lying sack of Talk nicely to me. I got all this money in altcoins. I've been buying the dip. The dip kept dipping. Where's altcoin season, bruh? Whole time. Whole time, Glenn been over here. Hey guys, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Bitcoin? Do you have time to talk? Do you? Do you have time to talk about Bitcoin? I just want to show y'all a little something about this Bitcoin. Here's where Bitcoin was. If I go back far enough, I'm sure I can get it. Wait, while the other markets topped out in November, December. Here's Bitcoin today. You know, technically you haven't lost anything. A couple weeks ago, you were up 3%. But that's just from when the rest of the market was running up. If we go back, say July, we're up like 133% at least. But you know, whatever. Shut up, Glenn. We don't want Bitcoin. It's too expensive. We want Doggy Moo Moo coin. Oh, okay. I'll be here. I'll be here. Whenever y'all want to talk about Bitcoin, I'll be here. People be coming over here. Hey, Glenn, tell me about mother fart coin. No. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Shut up, Glenn. I don't want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to hear about fart coin. I want dog with that. I like y'all. Y'all okay with me, man. You see what I'm saying? Altcoin season been coming for 7 damn months now. There ain't no altcoin season. There is no altcoin season. 7 damn months. Altcoin. Hey, listen, you know, it's gonna get on and popping. You gotta whisper, because I'm telling you, bro, like, you can't let people know you walking around with all this crypto. They're gonna try to get you up over the head. You gotta, you know, keep a low profile. I can run to the street right now and tell people I'm holding Doggy Moo Moo coin. They're gonna be looking at me like, you loser. Laser Dolphin coin, please. What was I going over here to DeFi Llama? Oh yeah, it's coming over here to DeFi Llama, right? Here's what we're gonna do. DeFi Llama. It's gonna tell you every every chain that's got something being built on it, right? Y'all stop me when you see Harmony 1. That's by ICP. ICP has shrunk almost 12.5% in the last month. Nobody's building on it. Just stop me when y'all see Harmony 1. Y'all see it because I don't see it. Y'all see it? I don't see it. DeFi Llama, excellent tool to use. Yeah, nobody's building on this. So all the right Theta chain. Hey, we're gonna be able to take files and decentralize them and put them in multiple places, and that's gonna be great. Nobody's building on Theta. Interlay, nobody's building on Interlay. Oh, super, my boy. Y'all gave us a 10x and then just like shit the bed. What? VeChain. Oh, I've been telling people to get out of VeChain for the longest. VeChain is a dumpster fire. Stop me when you see Harmony 1. I guess it's not here. How the F is Luna still going up? People gambling. Well, it's going to get back to $1 one day. No, it's not. Likely not. Mint. Cubic. Like, I mean, Naka, what is that? What is that? It doesn't even matter. We're down here to like the DeFi total value locked, these numbers right here, right? These numbers right here. What this represents the amount of money that people have locked up on the network. Some of you have portfolios bigger than these numbers. Some of you have portfolios bigger than the total value locked on some ecosystems. I love you, Wolf. Some of y'all walking around with portfolios bigger than 85K. No one's built anything on Dash. Okay? Forget about it. I thought I saw Harmony one. I don't see it. I mean, it's down here in the weeds, bro. Am I tripping? Can I search for it? Let me see if I can search for it. Harmony, yeah. Oh, there it is. Harmony. Okay, let's see what number Harmony is. Holy airball. Glenn, do you know Trade Crypto? I don't know Trade Crypto. Who's that? In the last 24 hours, the DEXs for Harmony One have only traded $7,892. In July, the TVL is only 1.37 million. That's nothing. See what I mean? In 2022, it was a cat's meow. $1 billion, $1.3 billion locked in this bad boy. Today, 1.3 million. It's cooked. Forget about it. Forget about it. To my XRP folks, right? I went on Crypto Glenn's live and he just chose violence. $60 million as on TVL. Like, come on. This is nothing. You don't really start getting into like what I would call decent TVL until you start eclipsing, a few hundred million. Base active addresses 1.29 million. What's the TVL? Almost 3.5 billion. Bitcoin almost 6.5 billion. Ethereum 64 billion. Solana 8.5 billion. Sui 1 billion. Avalanche 1.4 billion. Oh, that's the other one people were talking about. Aptos. Aptos is doing absolute dog shit. We're going to come back to Aptos, though. We're going to come back to Aptos. People are like, yeah, Aptos has a new announcement coming out. Announcement went over like a wet fart in church. Nobody cared. HBAR, $80 million TVL on the blockchain. No one's building anything on that. XRPL, active addresses, none. DeFi, total value locked, 60 million. Stable, 75 million. DEX trade volume in the last 24 hours, 305,000. This is nothing. No one is building anything of value on the XRPL. So the next time y'all hear somebody say, oh, well, they're going to build the next financial system on the XRPL, just look at them and shake your head. Because all you got to do is come over here to DeFi Llama and it's going to tell you everything you want to know. But for some reason, it's like you start talking about facts and people just start like eyes glazing over and people just start tuning out. XRP community, another one, they be whispering, okay, guys, all right, so listen, when XRP takes over like half the volume of Swift, oh, baby, we are going to be so paid. Hey, what year is it? It's 2017, but don't worry, like definitely by 2020, like we got this. 5 years later. Hey, guys, we just now got stable coins. It's curtains, it's a wrap. The market doesn't want it. Algo, let's take a look at Algo. Oops, not in the top 20. Algo, where you at, Algo? If you see it, let me know. So I'm saying, like, no one is using the vast majority of this shit. No one. Anybody see algo? Scroll by 60 something. Oh, let me go back up. Oh, 55. Total DeFi TVL 60 million. Addresses 32,000. And last month has grown by 71.6%. Okay, that might warrant a little looky look, but this TVL is like still very low. Whoa, what the fuck? What the hell? What the hell, Yante? What the hell, LeBron James? So these are all of the protocols that are on Algorand. Folks Finance, I'm guessing this is like their DEX of sorts. Okay, so I've showed you guys before how to play this. Try to find a DEX, try to find a launchpad, try to find a borrowing and lending protocol. What else am I missing? DEX, staking, borrowing, lending, launchpad. That's just native to the chain. And you want to see good growth, right? Like I probably take a look at Pact. This is their DEX. I'll probably take a look at Folks. If they don't have a coin, interacting with these protocols can probably net you an airdrop. And if it does, just my opinion, after the airdrop comes, I'll probably dump it all, because historically what happens is, yeah, the airdrop comes, people are excited about it, and then like they just tank. So a good DEX, staking, borrowing and lending protocol, launchpad. What else am I missing? I feel like there's one more that I'm missing. A DEX, a launchpad, borrowing and lending, a staking protocol. Maybe that's it. Pendle? Take a look at Pendle. We'll take a look at Pendle. Excuse me. Yeah, I must be allergic to that bullshit. Yep. Definitely allergic to that bullshit. Oh my god. I'm dying. Alright, what was it, Pendle? $5 says nobody's building on this shit. Hold my ass. Total value lock 4.9 billion. Respectable 4.9 billion. All right, my bad, Pendle. My bad, G. Let me put some respect on your name, homie. And it's going up and to the right. What number are you? If you're 4.9 billion, you got to be within like the top 20 or so, I want to say. Probably maybe top 15. I think that's safe to say. Let's go back and see if we can find it. TVL 4.9 billion. Pendle, where you at? Doesn't make any sense. What is this going by? It's not going by protocol. It's not going by addresses. TVL 4.9. Well, that's Tron. I just want to see something. If y'all see Pendle, let me know. What's up, QC? Oceans of Wisdom says, Glenn is the truth. I appreciate you. Thank you, Milkshake, for the bless you. Thank you. If y'all see Pendle, let me know, because there's something I want to see on Pendle. I remember when Linea came out, everyone was like, oh my god, this is the latest and the greatest thing. What's it doing now? Exactly. Stacks, I would expect this number over here to be growing. That 1 month change. Scroll was another one. Oh my god, it's the latest growth. But they got 116% growth in the last month. You should probably start taking a look at Scroll. Where's Pendle? I feel like to have $4.9 billion of TVL, Pendle should not be this far down the list. Pendle, where are you? Hey, you're gonna make me do it the hard way. Alright, let's try this. Is it EO? No. Pendle. No. Fees annualized, they make $8.6 million a year. Not bad. Ah, that's what it is. Their TVL is across multiple chains. Got you. Okay. Okay. Will it show me? It's 100. Number 100. All right, let's take a look. That's, I'm gonna. You have that segment about DeFi protocols. Try to get a little sneaky, having it broken down by chains. Nope, it's not 100 on here. It's probably number 100 of all the cryptos. What I'm gonna do. There we go. Now let's find it. Damn, it's not on here. Nope, still not. Bro, where's Pendle? Am I like tweaking? I bet the reason why it's not popping up is because Pendle may not be its own. May not be its own chain. What is Pendle on ETH? It's probably on ETH. Let's see what this has to say. Oh, it's on ETH. Okay. Oh, that's probably why we can't find it. That's got to be it. Because, I mean, you would expect Pendle to have way more. I'm going to say you can't find it on DeFi Llama because it doesn't have its own chain. Poor Joe says yes on ETH. Okay, that's why. Damn, I wish I'd have known that like 10 minutes ago instead of burning 10 minutes. All right. But if you want to know what Pendle is, right? Let's just come here. Okay, let me take a look at this Superverse real quick. Gaming United. Yes, so Superverse, I thought as much, is going to be in the gaming and metaverse category. And like, yeah, about that. I just don't know why you would need games on the blockchain. Like, I get it. Like, if you want to do the whole metaverse thing, like I can control my assets, take assets across chains and cross games. I just think we're so many years before we're even remotely ready to do something like that. I like the idea, right? Like if you get a sword and say like Final Fantasy 7, if you can take it to like Fortnite, yeah, that would be super dope. And yes, you know, having a blockchain could help something like that. But then you'd also have to come up with all these different game manufacturers who even want to do that in their own games. So then like you're asking the game manufacturers to develop games that may be constrained by operating on a blockchain when they might just be better off being produced how they're being produced now without having constraints because they don't have, you know, the technological barriers. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here. But yeah, Superverse is supposed to be like the gaming, the metaverse space, and it's just, you know, because those two sectors really aren't doing a whole lot right now. It's not really a whole lot, you know, there's no sizzle. There's no sizzle. Glenn, I need a solid crypto pick 5. Please, your opinion. My opinion only. Y'all ever watched the Chappelle show when he's like, who are the top 5 best rappers? And he goes, Dylan, and Dylan, because I spits hot fire. I think in this ecosystem, this day and age, where you're at with, you know, crypto right now, first of all, there's been this huge misnomer that just because a crypto gets an ETF, that means that there's going to be some crazy price action for the underlying asset because Bitcoin got an ETF, and therefore because Bitcoin got an ETF, they all, you know. D. Carl says, hey, you never answered my question. Ask it again. I might have got lost in the chat. Block to the blockchain. Appreciate the GGs and the heart me, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, my guy. Wes, appreciate the heart me as well. Good to see you, fam. So because you've got all these different variables that are at play right now, you might look at the market and say, okay, well, prior to Bitcoin getting an ETF, Bitcoin was the only crypto asset that the market regularly displayed having a very healthy appetite for. So it would only make sense that when it got the ETF, this allowed other people who didn't necessarily know about crypto exchanges and KYC and made it easier for them to grab up some of the Bitcoin. Ethereum has had its ETF, but the market has not displayed a healthy appetite for wanting Ethereum even outside of the ETF market. So this is why when we got the ETF market for Ethereum, there was no explosion. It's the same reason why I don't think we'll have the same explosionary growth with Solana, even though Solana is probably one of the more popular ones. And the market is holding at least the price floor reasonably well. It's not just demonstrating the same level of hunger for Solana like it did Bitcoin. So while I think it could help Solana, I don't think it's going to lead to the same price explosion that we got with Bitcoin. XRP, not even expecting anything whatsoever. The market, I think, time and time again, year in and year out, has shown us, hey, we see XRP, we know that it's there, we just don't really have an appetite for it right now. Given the lawsuit, even though the lawsuit's over, even it still being able to be used in other markets, but it not being used in other markets, I think that's the market talking to market participants. Now, if you're willing to listen to that or not is a totally different question. But the thing that I think would be wise for all of us to move away from is to think just because the ETF is coming out for a crypto asset, in some measure, that means explosionary price growth for that asset. And I would say the hallmark needs to be the market demonstrating a very healthy appetite for this asset prior to it even getting an ETF. That might give you some kind of indication. Carl says, what do you think about the stable coins? I don't know if I asked you that before. The stable coins, I think the stable coins are fine. I think the stablecoin argument really only does a better job of solidifying Bitcoin's use case. I think it does a great job of changing Bitcoin's fundamental use case. And what I mean by that is you'll have conversations with people and they'll say, well, Bitcoin is just a store of value. We're so beyond a store of value argument right now, it's not even funny. If you're taking a look at the things that Bitcoin has been able to do over the last, say, 5 years, right? So you go back 5 years, yeah, 100% store of value, cool, got it. Depending on asterisk, depending on what time you got in. But when you have companies who say, hey, we put Bitcoin on our balance sheet and we grow our business 10x without coming out with a new product or service, CFOs, if they are worth their weight in their paycheck, they are going to notice, hey, this would be a really good way for me to return value back to my shareholders without having to issue a stock buyback and without having to commit monetary resources to R&D to come out with a brand new product or service. For every company that has put Bitcoin as a strategic financial reserve asset on their balance sheet, it is growing. It's grown the market cap of the company. It's made them more valuable. That in itself is probably one of the better use cases for any financial instrument. Hey, you buy this thing, you put it on your balance sheet. the market capitalization of your company grows. It would be smart for Ripple to take some of Bitcoin and place it on their balance sheet. I said what I said. I said what I said. Since Ripple is interested in acquiring all these different companies to grow the market capitalization of their business, why don't you just put some Bitcoin on your balance sheet and hit that ball out the park? Now, when they do that, y'all gonna be like, God damn, Glenn, actually, yeah. Yeah. So the Bitcoin, oh, you know, it's just good for, you know, store value. No. We are so far beyond that, it's not even funny. You're not paying attention to the reading. You're not keeping up. You're not keeping up. When is ETH going to move? We'll talk about that here in a second. But somebody asked me about for shizzle, no shizzle. Yeah, you got to have the sizzle. Pick 5, right? So I say that to say this. My pick 5, because again, the longer I look, the more I'm like, damn, it's really just fucking Bitcoin. It legit really might just be Bitcoin. But if you say top 5, not going Bitcoin all across the 5, because I was definitely going to go Bitcoin in slots 1 through 5. Bitcoin, 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 and Bitcoin. Say BTC, ETH, Chainlink. Who do I really want to put in those last top 2? Dot, no, man. Dot is so ass. So booty. Look at this. Here we are, November highs, right? November, December highs, this thing peaked. Dot. Bitcoin is king. Argue with your mammy. HBAR, I'm not even going to say HBAR. HBAR has done fuck all. It hasn't done anything. There's been like no brand new exciting news about HBAR. There's been no, you know, no one is using HBAR. Like, Like, I'm really just being objective. The longer I stare at this market, the longer I stare. Like, what is Move Token? What does this actually do? According to these charts, nothing, because the market is saying we don't want it. Quant, I do like Quant. Okay, 4, Quant. But I'm not going to flood the last 2 on that list with companies and cryptos that want to be the enterprise blockchain grade solution for companies that are not Web3 native. HBAR is a huge, listen, y'all gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Pause for dramatic effect. Algo is fast. Don't get me wrong. Algo's fast, but it's like, it's not doing anything. I like Algo. Like, if I got to get something from point A to point B and, like, you know, for whatever, I can't use stable coins, or like the network is just jammed up. Yeah, I'm going to use Algo because that shit is fast. The litmus test I use personally for whether if I give tokens credence before I have the ability to jump in, and I would say Solana, number 5, Solana. Before I have an opportunity to jump in and really do the research, does the XRP community like it? If the XRP community likes it, I'm probably going to hate it. Why? Because by and large, I just think they piss down their leg the majority of times when it comes to actually nailing legitimate cryptocurrencies that have more going for them than just hype. Just where I'm at with it. Am I going to stick with Moonwell? I like what Moonwell can do, but Moonwell has a lot of dependencies, being Morpho Labs, Yearn Finance, and Base. I give Moonwell honorable number 5. Honorable mention number 5. But I feel like they've got to work with a few other cryptocurrencies to really get that to pop. They pissed down their legs. What was it 2 weeks ago? ZBEC. And I'm like, yo, the market makers are propping ZBEC up. Please take your ball and go home. Shut up, Glenn. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Real fast. Yeah. 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 What was it before that? XCN. I'd probably stay away from that one. It has nothing to do with JP Morgan Chase. Shut up, Glenn. Okay. Okay. Whatever the XRP, listen, here go to play. Whatever the XRP community is hype on, by and large, I short. XRP community is hype on XCN. Nope, I'm gonna go short on that. Print it. XRP community hype on ZBEC. Nope, I'm gonna short it. Print it. Just literally a handful of days, I'm on Twitter like, yeah, it looks like a really good opportunity to short XRP. For whatever reason, XRP community is getting hype again. I think they applied for like some banking license. Everybody was like, oh, XRP, I got a hard on. Oh, I'm gonna come. And I'm like, are y'all getting excited about it like that? Let me short it. They was excited in like what? Where are we at? This area back here, we shorted it. I literally put it on Twitter. I'm like, oh, the XRP community are getting riled up about something. Short. It's so easy. And TikTok is like the best for that. I hope TikTok doesn't go anywhere. I hope Twitter and TikTok do not go anywhere. I just peruse TikTok and I peruse Twitter and I see like what people are getting excited about. And I go to the chart and I just wait for it to go to crescendo, right? And I just wait. And I just wait. And I just wait. We're getting ready to do it again. I just wait. I just wait. XRP's going to 10K. Short it. They're going to sell Bitcoin for XRP. Short it. Go long on Bitcoin, short XRP. And it prints. What up, Fear? You ain't missed too much, my boy. I just giving chat some alpha. Whatever the XRP community is hype on, I short. Whatever they say they like, I'm like, I can't do it. ZBEC, XCN, nope. Nope. Can't do it. That's not to say I don't like them. I like them. There's a handful of people in the XRP community I actually like. You see me in their chats? You see me on their live stream? I like them. But that community by and large, oh no. Nuttier than a bag of cats. Nuttier than a bag of cats. I just hang around on TikTok. What y'all talking about today, man? I go to the Discords. I go to the, the Twitters. What y'all excited about today? Oh, Ripple decided to donate a puppy or adopt a puppy. Okay, cool. What's that shit they were talking about? The new XRP meme coin, Fuzzy Bear. And I'm like, y'all better leave that shit alone, man. You know what? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Pendle got a nice website. Is it deck screener? I think it is a deck screener. I'm giving y'all all my alpha. This is what I do. Whatever y'all excited. What's up, Property Lawyer? Yes, to answer your question. Yes. I have been reading the book. Yes. I'm actually glad I see you. Whatever the XRP community is excited about, I'm just like, go the other way on it. I don't know what it is. And let me real talk. It's not even just the XRP community, because the Tron community, they're just as bad. That unit price buy, I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin. It's $108,000. Well, why the hell you let it get that far away from you? You could have pointed to a time where you was looking at Bitcoin at 47,000, 36,000, 24,000, and every single one of those times you said, "Nope, I'm not gonna buy this. Too expensive." You thought 24,000 was too expensive. Whoo-wee! I know every day you look at that chart of Bitcoin is above 100,000, you start punching the air. Stop letting it get so far away from you. Because if you mad about 108 now, you're going to be pissed once this thing goes north of 500. Oh, man. I should have never listened to Alex Cobb on YouTube. Oh, what the fuck was this daggone? Hold on, I gotta try to see if I can find it. I thought it was Fuzzy Bear on XRP. I looked at it, I was like, that ain't got a snowball's chance in hell. And now they starting to cannibalize each other. Fuzzy. All right, maybe that's what it is. Is this it? I don't know if this is it. Maybe? I don't know. This is the first time I ever looked it up. Liquidity 1.4 mil. Market cap 24 mil. I'm not touching it. Buys 247, sells over 1,000. Volume in the last 24 hours 131. Nah. I'm good, bro. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Here's the problem with ADA right here. Here's the problem with Cardano. Charles Hoskinson on July 6th. Hey, y'all, here's my farm. The hay looks good. Charles Hoskinson, the leader of Cardano, is focused on his farm. And here's the price of Cardano. Wait for it. $0.58. Let me tell you what happened. Charles Hoskinson was a part of Ethereum. That means when Ethereum was created, when Ethereum went public, when it went live, he got broken off a very healthy amount of Ethereum. He then left the Ethereum team and went to go start Cardano. What do you think he did? Broke himself off properly with pre-mined amounts of Cardano. Wait for it. So it's 2 cents back here after the 2017 bull run. And during 21, it goes to what? $3? $2.91. You don't think he sold his pre-mined allocation of Cardano? He probably still has some, but I'm willing to bet he probably sold a large amount. To the fact where now he can just have acres and acres of land and just be worried about his farm. Do you see what I'm telling you now? They take your money, they take your valuable crypto, and they turn around and they buy the thing you should have been buying all along. And then when you get here and you look at Bitcoin, you're like, oh man, Bitcoin's $108,000. Guess who didn't have a problem buying Bitcoin at $108,000, at $40,000, at $20,000, at $10,000, at $36,000? Yeah, folks like Charles Hoskinson, because you give them your money, they turn around and they sell it. They sell you the Fugazi crypto and they buy the thing you should have been buying this whole entire time. You got played. Glenn, how do you know this? The year was 2017. You had to be there. There was a little project called EOS. EOS had an ICO, and during the ICO, they raised over $4 billion. And the people never got anything. Then they tried to come back and rebrand. And the bear market of 2019, I want to say it was. I believe it was. They said we're going to come out with our own social media platform called Voice, but it's going to be like Facebook, but it's going to be for audio. It's going to be like Voice. People got excited about it. They started buying back into EOS. They then put more money in the hands of the founders of EOS, and EOS then rug pulled them again. Voice never saw the light of day. Stop making the founders rich and just buy the thing you should be buying. You're giving them your hard-earned dollars because you're like, I'll be able to take this and flip it real quick and I'm going to be able to make some crazy money. And then once that coin starts to pump, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin with it. You'll likely never see the light of day. Hawk to. Or some of your own cryptocurrency content creators that have created their own meme coins that are now flaunting around on social media. Hey guys, thanks for the money. Look what I just bought. So then again, when you go back to that Bitcoin chart, you're like, oh man, my plan didn't work. Bitcoin's only getting more expensive. The best piece of advice I can give you is just stop playing those away games. And you're going to have to do it the long, hard, and the steady way, the way that so many other people had to do it. Now, piece by piece, I'm just going to buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. If it's me, this is what I'm doing. Just buy Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin. And then maybe you look up one day and you actually have an amount you can be proud of. But this trying to get cute, playing these away games, I'm going to put money over here, and I'm going to I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to grow that. Nah. You're going to be just like them other people. Remember the conversation we had earlier? Okay, look, bro, right? I know we in the grocery store, but we got to whisper because I'm telling you, altcoin season is coming, bro. It's going to pop. And when it pops, bro, all these altcoins, you're going to be rich. Here, take this coin I just found. I just told you about it, but I'm not telling you that they're paying me to tell you about it. So I'm going to let you buy it. I'm going to dump on you. The founders are going to dump on you. Then some of the early investors and community members are going to dump on you. But don't you worry, bro. Hey, listen. Well, altcoin season pops, you're going to be good, baby. We going to be Lamborghini and Ferrari'd up. Everywhere we go, it's going to sound just like this. You good. Don't worry about it. Here, take these altcoins. Keep catching them falling knives. I mean, dollar cost averaging. Do I think ETH is dead? No, I don't think ETH is dead. But everybody who's been keeping their eye on the ball and just been buying Bitcoin like that, I can't speak to everybody else, but when I say it's, you know, they're not really worried about too much. They're not really worried about too much. We just buying our time because we know what's coming. Sooner or later, y'all gonna have to turn that printer on. When y'all turn that printer on, everyone who's buying Bitcoin, those valuations are going to explode. And then the people who have been skeptical of the Bitcoin Treasury Reserve companies, they're going to see how the valuations of the people who got in relative, air quotes, quote unquote, early, how they're doing. Then they're going to make a rush. There's going to be a mad dash. And you might have a handful of altcoins here and there that go up, but I don't think we're going to have that blindly across the board, broad sweep of motion. All the altcoins go up and everybody's like rolling in it. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. Mono Man says, facts on that, G. You feel me? I don't see that happening for a lot of people. Ethereum, they got to get this update done that's going to take care of the gas fees. Then what they need to do after that is they've got to create a new thing. It can't be meme coins. It can't be like the DeFi. It can't be NFT. Like NFT, let's be clear. Let's be perfectly abundantly clear. NFTs could pop tomorrow. But the people responsible for creating the NFTs, they got to be willing to make an investment in the community and not create something that's just going to be a form of liquidity extraction from the community. If I was a festival, I'm going to tell you something right now. Let me tell you goddamn something. For those of y'all that have seen Sinners, appreciate you, G, for the follow. Thank you, GC13. If Solana decided to do a winter festival, concert, right, Web3, the whole entire shebang, and they said, yo, we're going to drop an NFT, and the NFT is going to be the only way you can get into this thing, and we're going to drop it this weekend, they would break Solana's blockchain. the market wants something. The market is like, yo, give us something. It's kind of stale right now. Give us something. Cool. We're going to do a festival. The NFT is going to be your ticket. You would break Solana's blockchain, and the price would probably go up to 184. Like that. They can fix the gas fees. They can't do it soon enough, though. I think they wanted to roll the update out, but they had like a little bit of an issue with the latest Ethereum update that kind of like made them postpone it. Or like if Beyonce, right, if her team was smart and they wanted to tap into crypto, Cowboy Carter tickets, you buy this NFT, it's only going to be X amount, exclusive backstage pass, get to meet Beyonce. You get, what do they, I don't know, when you're on a farm, right? Where do you keep the horses? The barn or the stable, right? Maybe you don't call it the barn or the stable, but call it like something sexy, like jazz it up. And if you got this NFT, you get special seating. You can see Beyonce as she comes and goes from the stage to the back to get changed, you know, different sets of the show. That shit would sell out like that. And you would probably run the price of Ethereum over $3,000 to stall. Thank you. Anyone know how? Yeah, I know how. I can throw you up an NFT project right now on Polygon. Or Ethereum if you wanted to. Is really just changing the network. The ETH fees. With the gas fees on Ethereum right now, they're cheap because there's not really a whole lot going on in Ethereum right now. I'm trying to think what else. CES, Consumer Electronics Show. Computex, big computer show in Singapore. If they want to tap into crypto, we're going to launch an NFT. Whatever it is, just create a festival. Promote it. Get some, you know, give the people a carrot. You got this NFT, this is going to be your ticket for the next 3 years. We're going to do 1,200. 1,200 NFTs. See what I'm saying? Would be fire. Would be fire. The market wants something. So in order for ETH to come back, once they take care of them gas fees, they got to figure something else out. It's got to be a new product, new thing that gets the community excited. And it can't be looked at as a means to try to extract liquidity from the people. Can't be looked at as that. Because as long as you have that, you've got nothing here that's going to buck the trend. All this red over here, you got nothing that's going to come over there and buck the trend. The people don't want more meme coins. The folks who are wise, they see that it's, you know, that's not something that the everyday person can win at. Meme coins on ETH emerge dominant if gas fees is fixed. Yeah, I think the people are just kind of burned out on meme coins. I really do. I think the people are kind of burned out. Web3 Glossary, appreciate the heart meme, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. The data shows otherwise. What you looking at, DeFi Llama? Let's take a look. It's only grown 5% in the last month. And it seems to me the thing that's leading the charge is borrowing and lending. So you got Aave, you've got Lido, right? This is staking. Aave, borrowing and lending. Pendle, this is more finance. Morpho, this is more finance, borrowing and lending. Oh, you got Uniswap here, 116% the last month. Okay. Let me put some respect on Nicky Knows Crypto. He might be onto something. Uniswap has grown 116%. What's the only thing you can really do on Uniswap? Swap in and out of degen projects. All right. All right, Nikki, I might need to yield to you on that one. You might have raised a very valid point. What else is going on Uniswap? You know, the other thing people could be doing is they could be doing like DeFi, like as people swap in and out of Uniswap, they could be on the back end collecting fees by providing liquidity. But in order for that to really jam, people would have to be engaging in tokens. So yes, sir. Valid point. Point to you. Point to you, sir. Point to you. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm not really going to argue, right? Nikki came in and said, nah, man, I think actually meme coins still have a lot to go. Me having a biased opinion, I think meme coins are absolute dog shit. What do? We go to the data. What does the data say? The data says Uniswap is up 116% on Ethereum over the last month. A couple ways to take that. Number one way, people buying and swapping meme coins. Yes. The other way, people are providing liquidity to the meme coins and making money on fees as people transact in and out of the meme coins. Either way, they got to be buying the meme coins. So yeah, turns out Nikki was right about that. Can I take a look at the pools? Let's take a look at the pools. Do I have to connect a wallet? I don't want to connect a wallet. Pools by TVL. It's gonna make me connect a wallet. Yo, I don't really want to connect a wallet. Explore more pools. Let's try that. Yeah, so I think what you just saw there is like, you know, an expose on how to handle it. You might have a difference of opinion on somebody. Go to the data. Go to the data. I got millions of dollars in these pools. Rat BTC to USD. What are you gonna get? Almost 0.5%. 30%. Well, it's not going to tell me what the APR would be until I basically say that I want to put some in. But that doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. Rewards was 8%. 8% annually. I mean, it's pretty much stable coins. That's better than most traditional CD accounts you're going to get. The only thing I don't really like is, what is this USDT Screwball Zero? I know that's like some kind of stable coin. I question the health of this stable coin. You know, like, what is it? Who is it? Who's behind it? That kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Nikki. I don't see that as being like, it's very much a zero-sum game, right? And what we're talking about here, oftentimes, the average Joe isn't the one who's winning. But I do like Launchpads. You know, it gives you an opportunity to catch the projects early and then sell them into a pump. Yeah, Bitcoin's average Joe. I mean, it was though, but like, whose fault is that? You know? Whose fault is that? Bitcoin's been around, I'm trying to think, 2009? 15, 16 years? And most people caught it before it got to like around 10K. It was either 10 to 20, right? Depending on when you got in. You either got in when it was on the ascent to 20 in 2017, or if you came in after COVID, you got to see that 3K, and for whatever reason, people still chose not to buy into it. That ain't nobody's fault but their own. There's nobody with like their hand on the pulse on the meme coin that's like, all right, I can make you have a bad day at any given point in time. With a meme coin, man, as soon as that founder or whoever, the whale sees like, yeah, I can buy a boat with this, they're hitting sell. I'd rather take my chances with Bitcoin versus meme coins. You know? They want to be early on something. That's all anyone wants. But there's a difference between being early on something and just gambling. Meme coins is predominantly just gambling. And so if you're trying to use meme coins as a way to like turn a bag and get you up to where you need to be, I just don't think that's a strategy that's going to work out for most people. In fact, paying attention, I've been around meme coins long enough to remember when they first came out on Ethereum, then the gas fees got too expensive on Ethereum, so they switched over to Binance Smart Chain, and people were buying them on PancakeSwap. And when I take a look at that history from then till now, meme coins have left more people destroyed in their wake than people that they have created like life-changing monetary opportunities for. Well, okay, so back during NFTs, that was my main argument. It was, so who really makes money on the meme coins? Who makes money on these projects? The people who make money on the projects are the people who got in early. The people who make more money than them are the people who got whitelisted. The people who make more money than them were the investors. The people who ultimately make more money than them are the developers. So yes, to your point, the only one who is consistently making money on these things are the developers. Nah, I wouldn't even be moonbagging that shit. I wouldn't be scalping it. Like we can literally find a coin right now, and then like right now the chart will look really healthy, and then in 15 minutes it's completely imploded, and we're on to the next one. And I just think a lot of people that don't have endless amounts of capital just to play that game and to gamble, it's really not a good use of your time, or it's not a good use of your capital. Meme coins and XRP are trash. Agreed. And I've tried telling people that again, if this is 2025, I've been having this conversation with people, oh my gosh, since prior to 2020. So it's been at least 5 years. Hot take on BTC bear market low. Kind of hard to tell, right? You got all these institutions kind of pouring money into Bitcoin. What if we never see the 50%, 90% drop off or 50% drop off? You know, they've got to protect their downside, which means if they don't sell, then there's a strong chance that Bitcoin never goes below a certain point. By that same token, if they over leverage too much, because let's be honest, not everybody's going to be good at the strategic reserve company business as Saylor is, and if they over leverage, it potentially could cause a cascade effect where it might, you know, some price shock goes through the market, people start getting scared, they start selling off their BTC because they don't want to be caught with their pants down. So you've really got to watch the way that these companies are being built and how they're taking on risk. And a lot of them, you know, they're leveraging, if I can say that, because you're kind of buying a stock and they're raising debt. But if they're going a convertible bond rate or route, you've got to be mindful of, okay, well, when's the maturity date on those, or, you know, how are they structured? I would love if BTC got back to 90. I mean, it might, right? We talked about that last go round. Where are we at? Do I still have that chart saved? That's Bitcoin dominance. We just need regular Bitcoin. When did we go live? We were talking about Bitcoin if they were to hit 90 because there was a gap. What was that at? Did I mark it down here? It's down here on 91.92. That would have been what? Somewhere back in late July, early July, late June. I trying to figure out what chart I had that charted out on. Yeah, traders, we do love volume, but again, man, it's a risk, right? I'm not gonna take 100 grand, dump it into a meme coin for the sake of trying to turn a bag. Like, that's, when you look at risk to reward, there's more appropriate risk you could take with that same size, take less risk, and probably generate a better ROI. Like, again, I've been around too long. Like, you're never going to convert me on like meme coins. Be like, oh yeah, come on over to me. It's like, I'm straight on that. You might as well be taking money and just lighting that shit on fire. Where were we at when we were talking about that down at 90? Granted, you got another gap down here. Right. One would do that, but I actually don't like that because we got a little bit of an invalidation here. But just for shits and giggles, if anything, it's going to take the pattern that supersedes it. That one's going up. Would it be on the daily? So I got to save my charts, y'all. We were having a good conversation. And, you know, there were a couple things that we were going to look out for. We didn't say, hey, it was going to happen, but we said if the following happens, then you could arrive back down at like 90 or so. I'd have to go back and look at the other live. Thankfully, I think that's one of the last ones that we all did together. You got to be very defensive with capital when it comes to memes. Yeah. Again, like I said, if I'm working with the same sizing, for me it's about capital preservation and not losing money. So I'm going to take the trade that gives me the best propensity to not lose money. And immediately when I start looking at it like that, meme coins do not meet my risk profile at all. Like, not even by a little bit. So if you're saying, okay, Glenn, you can trade the traditional markets that you trade now, like Bitcoin and, you know, whatever altcoins, when the chart setups look good, or you can trade meme coins, I'm 100% going to take the altcoins and Bitcoin every single time. Every single time. Lower risk, I can take the same size, and if I push into a project at 100 grand, I don't know what the financial situation is for the developer. If I put 100 grand into a meme coin, they're going to see that 100K go in. Their eyes are going to get big, and they might just hit the dump button and like, that's it. But in a lot of other projects that I might trade, they may see 100K, 40K, 35K, whatever the case is. They may see that money go into the project, and it's not going to be enough to really sway the market one way or the other. So again, from a risk standpoint, it just doesn't make sense to even dabble in meme coins at all. At all. This is not going to do it. That'd be crazy. I'm going to have to go back and check that other live. Yeah, Deuce Wild says that's true, Glenn. You feel me? I'm going to have to check back the other live because I want to see where we would have been at. I think it was an ascending channel, right? Is anyone here from that other live? It's a rush. I love the on-chain high and frequency trading. Yeah, you like gambling. You like gambling. If you were in Vegas, you probably get that same rush sitting at a roulette table. You like gambling. Me personally? Nah, bueno. I get the same feeling from getting like a 3% or a 5% ROI. Then somebody probably gets turned in the bag on meme coins. Why? Because I'm just working with a different amount of sizing. Gambling with the edge on. It's gambling. Gambling is gambling. I have more control over using soul scan than roulette. Maybe, or maybe that's the perceive. Maybe that is the dangerous part, to think that you have more control. It's to think that maybe you have control. Me personally, I ain't touching it. Who is this? Emailing me at 11:36. Take care of that. There we go. Cool. You know, I mean, people say that I can see when all the snipers are out and this, that, and the third. You can't, because if that was the case, you'd be walking around here rolling the dough like you'd be up 20 million. Again, I've been in this space long enough to know all like the bots, this, the software, that, the wallet trackers, da. Like, no. 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 I've swung with the best of them, my guy, and even the best of them still take losses. That's just a dangerous mindset, man. It's a dangerous mindset, and you like on the way to losing bread. It's only a matter of time. What's the exact opposite way that you should be trying to roll? The name of the goal is to make the money with risking as least amount as possible. Says I'm up 9K. I mean, you know, that's respectable, but it's 9K. Some of us did 9K before we woke up this morning. Or 10, or 20, or 30. What is Brett? God damn, man, Brett. So glad we told people to take profit at Brett. Way back yonder. Cause damn. It's looking bad, doggy. It's looking bad. How's that for a green coin? Down over 80% from its all time or from its highs back in November, December. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to call it here. We covered a lot today. Hopefully, I gave y'all something to think about. As always, y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, just hit me up, man. The DMs are open. Any way I can help you out on your journey, I want to at least try to do that. But again, I'm never going to DM you first. I'm never going to follow you back. It's a good way to get me confused with the scam account. Please be aware of the scam accounts. Like, there's like more than I can count. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count the amount of scammer accounts that I have. So, all right. Milf, appreciate you. I don't know. Maybe if I get into a trade a little bit here later. 50 glints, shit, 50 would be like light. It's like 500 them damn things. It's crazy. Check the Twitter. If I decide, hey, I'm looking at these charts, I think I see something that makes sense, I'll probably put the trade set up there. Or if I decide to do a little bit of late night trading with y'all, because I think we're supposed to get some information out of Washington later this week about what they're going to do with the tariffs, and I think that's got the ability to sway the market one way or the other. So long story short, stay vigilant, stay focused, and remember, traders is gonna trade. Stay focused, says Glenn, always 100. I appreciate you, Focus. Thank you so much. Yeah, we might jump back on this thing a little bit later. All right, let me take a look at these markets, see what I can see. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Hey, Jill, come on. We're going to be late for the Crypto Blend live stream. Call Barack and Michelle, see if they're going to tune in and watch. We can see him chart Doggy Moo coin.
This is the best president of the United States, Donald Trump, and when I'm not putting high tariffs in the place, I'm watching Crypto Glenn on the Leaky Duck.
We are late. The Crypto Glenn live stream has started without us. You fill me yet again, stall scream.
Jeez, I'm excited about this.
You're watching the Crypto Glenn nightly stream. Real Alpha, Blink, can you chart Doggy Moo for me?
你我才是你的